Good morning. Welcome to an episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Today is Friday. My only day off. We got a lot of rocking and wrenching today, but we're going to start off with this thing first. Picked this thing up during the week for cheap. Cheap. Actually, I made an offer to this lady, completely lowballed her 2 months ago, and I was very polite with her and we left it on good terms. But guess who reached out to me? And look what we got. Craftsman 179cc engine, 24-inch wide clearing path. You got the serrated auger to chop through the thick and heavy wet stuff, right? We got our snow shovel, which we're going to nullify having. This is going to be a cool accessory though. We're going to modify the impeller so it'll throw snow farther and it's not going to get clogged up. Convert this thing to Repurpose synthetic oil. And that's really it. I mean, this machine is literally in excellent shape, except for your typical blown out shoot ends. We'll bang those back in. You got polymer skid shoes, so it doesn't abrade the driveway. Dual-sided, double life. Nice V-groove tires. Alright, see that? Great machine. I stole this thing. Absolutely stole this thing. Electric start, came with extra keys. She gave me the owner's manual, gave me extra shear pins. Now I was going to include the extra shear pins in the sale, but there's no shear pin holder for this. So I'm not going to do anything with it. I mean, I can create a shear pin holder. I might do that. We'll see. I was thinking about going nuts on this machine. You know, tire chains and lights and stuff. But this machine doesn't have a stator output wire. So I really can't do anything. For some reason, in the pictures when I first looked, I thought it was at least a 208cc. I mean, the machine looks great. It's eye-catching. I'm not going to do any paint work on this machine, because even though I'm colorblind, oh no, we're going to have to paint. Okay. This doesn't match anything here. So we're going to throw a quick coat of paint on here and basically call this thing a day. A beautiful machine, not much to do on it. We do have one issue that we need to rectify. And I use this issue to get an even cheaper price. I'm still not going to tell you what I got it for. But I stole this thing. You hear the engine RPMs fluctuating up and down? So this thing surges. So the person who was trying to sell it to me was trying to mask it and tell me that the engine needs to warm up. I said, okay, we got time. It warmed up and it's still persistent. And I'm going to show you guys a neat little trick on how to stop your engine surging. And I'll tell you what, it has nothing to do with cleaning the carburetor out. It has to do with stupid, stinking, dirty, rotten, nasty, useless California emissions. Alright, so let's get this cover off and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're just going to loosen the carburetor cover, right, just so we can get some wiggle room. 10mm. Like I said, we're just going to loosen it. If you want to take them off, that's cool, but we're not going to completely, we're not going to pull off this housing at all. I'll put that there. I really should be getting my socket. I don't know what I was thinking. Come on. Can you grip? Let me get my socket, dummy. Alright. M12 ratchet. There you go. Light work, baby. Light work. I'm going to come over to the carb cover. And we should be able to push this to the side. Come on, sweetheart. Alright, that's fine. We have the other one. Switch to a wrench. And just like that, we're free. Okay. So we're going to push back this cover. Right? Should I just take this off the show you guys? I never really have to take much of this stuff apart. I really don't want to take this off for you guys. Alright. More 10mm screws. Take this one off by the shroud. My light to you guys. Put that there. One more over here. I need 2 hands. Try not to scratch anything. Okay, now we have a good look. Okay. Can you guys see this? Your adjustment screw? You see this right here? We have to undo this and pop out this idle jet. And we're good to go. So let's do that. Now it's like a weird D-shaped. I use an oversized Torx to get that out. Let me see if I can get you guys a good view in here as I do this. Okay. I'm going to take my oversized Torx, stick it in this hold down screw, and you see me? I'm just twisting it out. Now this is plastic, so be very gentle. You don't want to strip or force anything. Alright, so let me get this out. I need 2 hands. Alright, that's out. Kick that to a curve. Let's not lose that. This is what we're talking about. This D-ring right here. Okay? This holds the jet down. Now we're going to take our flat tip screwdriver just gonna pop this puppy up. That's it. That's it. She's free. Let's just check how much gas is in this thing. There's a lot of gas in this thing. Alright. Here's our idle jet. Stupid California emissions. Now let me see if I have an extra carb laying around. Alright, so this is a very similar carb. Alright. This is what we removed right here. This plastic screw, see that big D shape? Pull that out and you pop this little jet off. That's what you need, and this is what we have. This is our issue right here. Stupid California emissions. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to drill this out and open up the flow, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so you see this little brass tip opening here? We're just going to take a small drill bit, and we're just going to go nice and slow. We're just going to drill this out. A little pressure on each side. And you can see the brass coming out. And did we go through? No, we didn't go through yet. And that should be it. I don't know if you guys can see with the focus, but you can see the drill tip go right through this little hole, and that's when you know you're completely through. So now, let's put this puppy back together. Now it doesn't matter which way, you know, this jet goes in. Just make sure it just goes horizontally back down the hole. Now remember, if we were to pull this completely apart, this would be a lot easier to do, but the more you take apart, the more you have to put back loops, the more it has to go back together. So, just going to snake this puppy in and call it a day. See? Pushes right in. And remember, our D-ring, our oversized Torx, I'm just going to push this in. I'm going to call that a day. Alright, so now we are in, per se. So, you know, let's slide this back on. Now this is always going to be a pain in the ass to slide back on, but don't be afraid to use some muscle. It's only plastic. Oops, I had you guys up to the sky. Let's hook the crank vent back up together. Crank vent in. Alright, let's put the sleeve in. Okay, so we have to tighten the carburetor down. Alright, so let's start that. Push the sleeve in. Okay. You gotta push this in. See? That's exposed. Okay. Now, put this in. Well, you might have to adjust the RPMs on this, the governor. Let's just see if this little trick works. See if we can get some. See if we can get the revving to go away. What I tell you, don't get stuck, don't get caught thinking that everything you have to do results in a carburetor cleaner. Alright, so now we are going to modify the impeller on this thing. By modifying the impeller, you are going to drastically change the dynamic of the snowblower. This is the best bang for your buck modification that you could do to any snowblower that you have that is 2-stage, even a 3-stage. But if you do your research online, a 2-stage snowblower will always, hands down, outperform a 3-stage snowblower. It's just a sales gimmick. And if you don't believe me, which is fine, right? You guys don't know me from a hole in the wall. Trust big name, heavy hitter companies that produce quality machines, such as Ariens. They've been in business for, Jesus, has to be well over 60 years. And I think last year they just celebrated their the million mark for snow throws. And guess what Ariens doesn't have? A 3-stage. Now, I know people like Hondas. I'm not a fan of them. Honda doesn't even have 3-stage. It is just a gimmick. So anyway, 7/16 or 11 millimeter, right? Now, if you guys see, I'm supporting the inside of the machine because it has carriage bolts. Remember? See? These are shouldered, so you want to support that as you screw it in. So 2 on there, and then we have another 2 over here. Now these you're going to need a wrench or have a snap-on low profile socket and ratchet. So same thing, same practice. Supporting it from underneath. Excuse me. We're good to go. Other side. Remember, don't forget to support from underneath, because if you don't, right, you run the risk of stripping auger housing. And that's going to be a bad day. You do not want to do that. Because if you look, these carriage bolts are smooth on the inside, and they go, so that doesn't do any damage to the impeller or the housing. These are low clearance. You definitely do not want to put a regular bolt in there. You're going to screw everything up. So please, Do not rush this. Okay. Set these aside. Now I'm just going to pull the auger housing away and push it through the rod. Right? And look what we have here. See that gap? That's where all your snow gets stuck. We're going to get rid of that gap forever. Alright, so in order to do this modification, right, you need some measuring tape or some device to measure. Our impeller needs to be, let's go up to here, 2.5 inches. Alright, so let me cut an impeller out. What I use is a mud flap from a heavy duty truck. And it's fantastic. So let's measure 2.5. Swing over to the machine. This flap is now going to cover the gap. No more gap. So what happens is, as this rotates inside your auger housing, it bends, right? It's bending, 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 bending. Well, it's actually going this way. It's bending, right? And as it comes up to the part where it opens up, see that? It flings the snow. And remember, there's no gap here, so it's going to cover everything. So what we're going to use is pretty simple. 5/16 sheet metal screw and a washer to hold it down. Now you can nut and bolt it. That's completely not necessary. I'd rather not, because guess what that thing is exposed to? Water. What happens to water over time in metal? It rusts. So I've been running modified impellers on my machines for, my personal machines for, we're going on 3 years now, and not an issue. And I use snow removal for an extra source of income. It's very profitable for me in my area, and never had one back out or break. Alright, so we made our mark. Now we're just going to send it down through that hole. And that's that. Okay. It went through all the way, so just do a little bit. Stick our washer like so. Right through the hole that we already made. Now we're going to put it right through here. See how easy that went down? Now we're going to get our new one. Now you want an overlap, right? Because then when you start the machine, it's going to perfectly adhere and get rid of the excess. It's going to trim it on its own. See? Like so. See that? See how there's no more gap? Sayonara. Slushy snow. No more clogging up. This is going to be garbage. So let's rotate this machine. Be careful. Spray some lube in there. So just some lubricant on the impeller, so it's just not raw. Another word would be raw dogging it. So just push this through. And there's our next impeller. So once you guys do this modified impeller, this thing is going to pick up even the smallest pebble and throw it. So this is your warning, right? You're going to break windows, you're going to puncture siding, dent cars, you name it. Because it's going to throw little rocks like this. So if you have a gravel driveway, which is not a big deal, right? You need to be cognizant of where you're throwing snow now, right? You just can't aim this way, that way. You're going to have to be conscious of your surroundings. Now, also another thing you should be doing, whether you have a modified impeller or not, is that before you blow snow, you should be covering the inside of the auger housing, right? With any sort of oil, WD-40, PAM, anything. Because remember, oil and water don't mix. You want that. Especially now that we're going to have friction inside the blower housing between the impeller and the housing itself. So that's your warning, that's your tip. Well, let's get this going. Alright, so after this I'm going to put you guys on time lapse and we're going to rip through the rest of the machine because I'm just repeating myself for the next impeller. The next two. Now, do you recommend doing this on one impeller, every other, or all of them? All of them. The more you have, the better off you are. So do it. Alright, so now that we're all together, right? Nice, generous coat of lube inside this thing. This puppy's gonna fly. Alright, now let's put our chute housing back on. We'll get our 4 7/16 carriage bolts. Remember, support from the inside. In, and they're square. You can feel when it's all the way through. I just want to start this one. Not all the way down. Right? Let's get our other 3. I'm not going to take you all the way to the other side because you guys know, like I said, just how it came off is exactly the way it comes back on. Alright, I lied to you. Let's do this. See that? And we're going to get our low profile or whatever you're using. And I'm just going to support it from underneath and let it rip. So I'm going to post a video at the end of this, a link to a video. I'm going to show you what exactly a modified impeller can do and what it needs. Now what you also can do is click on my page and go through my channel and see all the snowblower videos that I have. And they really showcase a modified impeller and what it can do and what it's capable of doing. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So these, because they're the last ones to go in, these we can make the appropriate tightness and go from there. And because these are already supported, you could just zip these. Right? Now, we're going to start this machine, and let's see if you guys can see the rubber that comes out. It's going to get loud. See how the engine got nice and quiet? You see this little black stuff coming out? This is your impeller perfectly adhering to this machine. Alright, next phase, tune up, paint the wheels. I need to cut this video short, but I just got this dropped off delivered to my house for free. Apparently this thing runs, but it leaks water. And this runs, but it has been used in 2 years. The guy wants me to modify the impeller on his snowblower. So I don't know if this has any gas left. Let's see. I don't even know. This has a little bit of gas. This thing fires right up. Holy shit. I doubt it. Uh-oh. don't mind me, I'm going to stop this video, clean this up, and put this puppy up for sale. $125. Pay me. Alright, so now that we're done, right, we're going to beautify this machine. Pretty simple. Painless, mindless task. Just gonna wipe around each rim, right? Not gonna show you both wheels. When I do the one, it is when I do the other. Should have a nice clean surface, right? And every time you put your snowblower, and we're going to put it in the service position, you always have something on the ground. So it doesn't mess it up. I don't know if he's going to freak out. Have you guys on the hood of her car. Right? Check it out. Look at that. Where am I? Favorite spray paint of all time. Is this a good shape? Should really have it sitting in the sun. It's a pain in the ass though. Here we go. Because I bought. There you go, you good to go. Test spray, and we're painting. We're just going to use the other wheel. Spin. Working our way around. Nice light coat. Now, if you want to get crazy, right? I just paint the side of the wheel. Guess what? It's like permanent tires. That's it. I'm going to do the same to the other side. It looks better already. Two different colors. We're not having a mosh posh of colors. Black, gray, and once I put a shine on all this, this will be one color too. Amazing. So let's get this engine warmed up. Convert this puppy to royal purple. So I'm going to start the snowblower. I'm going to let it run for about 5 to 10 minutes, get the oil nice and hot, and I'll see you back when it's all warmed up. Alright guys, this thing is running for, excuse me, quite some time. Alright? About 10-15 minutes, the oil is nice and hot. Alright? So what we're going to do now is we're going to change the oil. Convert this baby to royal purple synthetic oil. So I have the machine running for about 10-15 minutes, nice and hot. You want to treat it just like your car. See, I have it on elevated. Okay, see how it's moving? Now you see these? Check out these notches. So usually, because I have my vice grips handy, you don't have to use vice grips anymore. You could just use a nice little wrench. Watch. Oh. Yeah, just crack that. Make sure your dipstick is open. Make sure you don't lose that washer. And boom. There is our oil. Now look clean on the dipstick, right? Those can be deceiving. Comes right out. Drain plug, 10mm wrench. Nice and tight. Alright, so this machine calls for 18 ounces of oil. I have my pin cup from Home Depot that's already marked and measured, so it's easy to accuracy. Royal Purple 5W30 synthetic. Down the hatch it goes. Alright, that's that. Alright, let's put it up here. It's Royal Purple synthetic goodness. Best stuff for your engine. Alright, my GoPro died, but that's okay. You guys know where the oil goes. So now we're just gonna fire this puppy up and check our oil level. Hard to see. Gotta take you guys out of the sunlight. Nope, that was short. It's just below. Which makes sense because there's still a little bit of oil in the cup. But it's hard to pull all that stuff out. So, alright guys, that's a wrap, baby. Check this thing out. Beautiful. I'm still waiting for the paint to dry, so I'm gonna put a coat of shine on it later. But I'm just gonna run this puppy out of gas, put a coat of shine on it, throw this thing into storage, and pray that we get tons of snow, so we can wrap this sucker up and sell it. All right, guys. If you guys found this video helpful, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and guess what? I'll see you guys in the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance.